SOWORE condemned the appointment of GAMBARI over his rule during General Sani Abacha's military regime. The convener of revolutionary movement, Omoyele Sowore, has reacted to the appointment of Professor Ibrahim Gambari as the new chief of staff to President Muhammadu Buhari. Kanye Daily had reported that President Muhammadu Buhari appointed Gambari, a former minister of external affairs, as his new chief of staff following the death of Malam Abba Kyari, who lost his life to the dreaded coronavirus disease. Reacting to the development in a statement on Tuesday, Sowore condemned the appointment over Gambari's rule during General Sani Abacha's military regime. The former presidential candidate added that Gambari also served almost all the dictators that have ruled the country, he said. Professor Ibrahim Gambari, who some people claim is an intelligent man, used his intelligence to defend the draconian policies of the Abacha regime while he was Nigeria's permanent representative at the United Nations. He was one of the Abacha's equivalents of the Gobel, representing the infamous dictator with vigor and a propensity that could only be found in fascist Italy of old. As more pressure mounted on the Abacha regime from all corners of the world, Professor Gambari became more notorious and ruthless in defending and deflecting attacks against the Abacha dictatorship. I remember his many appearances on cable news channels, especially after Abacha murdered environmentalist and author Ken Saro-Wiwa following what can be described as a kangaroo trial. Professor Gambari stokely denied that the Abacha regime had committed a crime. He labeled Saro-Wiwa a common criminal who had engaged in the murder of some Ogoni elders. After the demise of Abacha, his other co-dictators and collaborators were put in their place. Call it the Nigerian Hall of Shame. Professor Ibrahim Gambari has not been touched. He has not been called to account, unlike the Husseinis, Mustafa and Gwazo. He did not appear before the helpless Oputa panel to explain his ignominious role. Instead, he was elevated by Kofi Annan, the United Nations Secretary General, to the position of Under Secretary and Special Advisor on Africa at the UN. Even after the death of Abacha, Kofi Annan's visits to Nigeria were primarily to prevail on Chief MKO Abiola to forget about his June 12 mandate. He didn't care about Abiola's freedom, so he quietly went to meet him in jail and asked him to forget about it. It is intriguing that Professor Gambari has now become a darling of so many Nigerian organizations. Honors are pouring in from everywhere and he's getting awards and making speeches all over the place. You can imagine. You can imagine. Well, you know that abnormalities is the bane of this country. Abnormalities, irregularities, that is what we celebrate. That is what we celebrate, because one question that will come to mind is that if really Sowore is talking about this, saying all of these things about this man, then why is it that he's getting award here and there? Why is it that people are rendering encomium to him? Why is it that people are praising him? Why is it that people are saying, oh, he's intelligent and all of that? Why is it that this and this and this and that? You know, in this country, we believe in position. We believe in where you have headed. So they use that as one of the criteria to rate people. Most especially when you have money. Oh, people don't even want to understand how you made that money. No matter how you make the money, they don't care. All they know is that you have the money, because they will tell you all of those things. Who will help? The most important thing is that you can pay. You can show yourself as far as a cash is concerned. So when you talk about a position, people are always like, oh, he has this degree, he has this, he had this a position at some point in time, and that is when they will know that you are a big man. You know that Sowore, when it comes to politics in this country, when people always say, oh, let him go and start from a local government chairman, even the president, as far as politics or democracy is concerned, SOWORE is even more vast than majority of those people. Those people who are really experienced, what do they know? What have they learned? Is it not corruption? Is it not stealing? With all their experiences, where are those their experiences? Where have they landed in Nigeria? Nowhere. So when you talk about a democracy, all of those things that happened during that time, he's aware, he knows very well. And apart from that, he's a journalist as well. And he's an investigative journalist, even if he does not even call himself that. He's a journalist, and he has been in this journey for a very long time. He knows all of them. He knows all of them. He knows all of them. So it's unfortunate that many might not know, and many do not know. Even the ones that we know, we decide to be quiet. We decide not to say anything. The new generation now might not know the antecedents or what these people have done in the past. Even some people who are really more matured, if you are not interested in politics, if you are not interested in what is going on in this country, you will not know better. Even as we speak today, we have old people who do not even have flair for all this politics. They will just say, I beg, I don't know, I don't even want to know. Some people, it could be as a result of being frustrated with the things that have been going on in this country. Nobody just wants to. Some people are not even interested. They are not even in that line. Some people just want to make money and just enjoy themselves and their family. So when you talk about all these politicians, he knows them better. But the question I ask is that why is it that with all of this comium, with all these praises, with all this international whatever the man has gotten, then why is it that people did not see all of these things? And I just still answer the question, because we are who we are, because the things that are more important, we don't even look at them, because we believe in position, we believe in money, we believe in what you have gathered and all of that. So anything goes. So what I believe is that a lot of people, no matter how they want to hide some things, some people will still be somewhere. Just like the way some people are complaining about, oh, history is not being taught, whether they have put it back is a different game entirely. Whether they are going to be teaching the children of nowadays the detail and the nitty-gritty of history, what happened at some point, is a different ball game entirely. If some people don't know, we'll still have people who will still be able to bring back the consciousness of people back. Remember this, remember this, remember that. And I think that's exactly what SOWORE is doing. Of course, with all these things that SOWORE has talked about, then you now see the reason why Buhari would want this kind of person, or the cabals or the presidency would want this kind of person. Because even when you look at the antecedents of this government, the so-called presidency and the cabal, you know what they stand for. Even the Buhari himself, you know what he stands for. So with what SOWORE has said, with Buhari's own resume, they are somehow related. So let's hear what people are saying concerning what SOWORE has said. Someone said GAMBARI is retired and spent, while all these dinosaurs in our national life, the Senate has become old people's home. Our future will never come because these old criminals won't leave the stage. Someone said, did you want the appointment, or he should have appointed you? Of course, they will not appoint him now, but they are telling you what is happening. So when you begin to see some things, don't start complaining. Don't say, oh, we didn't know. The same thing people were warned because of Buhari, warned about Buhari. But at the end of the day, what happened? People say, go and sit down. You don't know what they are talking about. Those who warned Nigerians about Buhari. But what is playing out now? Someone say, attention, what is the difference between corrupt politicians and a man who served under dictator? Provided Professor Ibrahim Gambari is an upright man, devoid of corruption, is better than nowadays politicians who are corrupt and failed to deliver dividends of democracy to the masses. I know you will complain whatever anybody PMB appoints, unless he appoints you, and there won't be any complaint. Okay, they will tell them now, they will not know. Just have it. The information is just there. You just have it. Of course, he has appointed who he wants to appoint, but how is he going to make any difference? Because they are elevating this chief of staff more than the position of the vice president. Someone says, SOWORE, please allow the president to do his job, or you take over from him. SOWORE, are you just crying? You are crying baby. So everyone that worked with Abacha, including Babaja Konde, should not move on with their lives. I believe if you had gotten an appointment like your fellow pro-democracy comrade in Abacha era, like Tinubu's Oshomole, you wouldn't have been singing another tune. There's no problem. We are watching to Aso Rock to see our president. This guy named SOWORE also a big time liar. Imagine this imagine him coming to state and mobilize students for his campaign. Another says, Showore, your father was also a political looter. No reasonable Nigeria is looking after yours. Face your problem. Why are you concerned with someone appointment in detention? Let that professor do the job and let all Nigeria see what we end of it. Kyari has gone. Who is the next to follow? So guys, let us hear your opinion. Showore has said his own. You know, normal thing Nigeria we always say what is your problem? Attention seeker. But you know, one thing is that Nigerians, or those who where many Nigerians should not even be bothered about, majority of Nigerians, is that they love suffering and they will be smiling. They love it. So there's nothing you're going to say. They are used to that suffering, whether they have a agreement with suffering. So there's nothing you're going to do. There's nothing you're going to say that will make any difference. So let's hear your own opinion, what you think about this whole thing. Thank you.